My name is Adriangeli. I grew up in church since I was born in a Christian household, going to church every Sunday during the week. And I thought I knew God. Well, I knew him to an extent, but I guess I didn't have that full encounter with God until later on, right? And how many people know that the enemy, he tries to sow division in a home, and the first thing he tries to attack is not only the parents, but the kids. Amen. So around the age, I would say like 10 years old, I saw that my parents, were going through some things, and there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of, just in the atmosphere, things were changing. It wasn't the same home I grew up in. And by the time I entered middle school, that's when I was, exposed to a lot of things, right? But being honest, I was exposed to pornography. I was exposed to masturbation, all this type of music that I used to listen to as well. Music affects you. And when I was in high school, I was also to a different crowd. I started having sex. I started hanging out with different people that I wasn't supposed to hang out with. Friendships, relationships. I thought that if I wore less clothing, that if I posted pictures on Instagram, I was going to be liked by people, right? And so I didn't really know who I was, because if I was doing this to please people, then... right? And little by little, it takes away from you. Every time you sleep with a person, it's like a piece of your soul goes away, right? And so it's crazy, because my parents, right, divorce was for all the way from age like 10 to age 17. My parents, all this ongoing thing, like divorce, contention, fighting. And I also felt like I was being neglected. My parents didn't know anything that was going on in my life. They didn't know that I used to get bullied. They didn't know that I was skipping school. It was just me and God in that moment. And so it took, even to the point where I heard the enemy's voice laughing in my ear, and I thought I was going crazy. I suffered from panic attacks. But I felt I had to go to the hospital because I thought I was dying. And I just couldn't sleep at night. And it was as a result of those doors that I was opening to sin. And all the way up to the age of 17, that's when I decided that things needed to change. It was right before the pandemic came. And I was just me and God in my room, and I started to break down. And I said, Lord, I can't live without you. All of this means nothing. If I don't have God, it doesn't mean anything. And I just started crying out to God, and from there I made a decision: delete all the music off my phone, delete the contacts, leave friendships, unfollow a bunch of people, unfollow a bunch of pages, and it's all about a decision. So tonight, if you can relate to this, if you identify yourself in this, I encourage you to just cut off. It's not easy, but having the love of God means everything. Being in God means everything. Amen. And so, yeah, if God could do it with me, he can do it for you. Yes. Just continue to stay firm in the Lord, and it is worth it serving Christ. At this age, it's worth it serving Christ. Amen? Amen. Amen.